How's it going, Vandals? I'm Johnny Alpha, and I'd like to welcome you back to Graphic Vandalism. But before we get into the video, I'd like to remind you all that I'm now both on Instagram and Twitter, and you can contact me on both at JohnnyAlpha81. And now, back to the video. And this video is Long Live Valiant, a look at my new favorite name when it comes to hero comics. And Valiant Comics is a label I'm pretty new to, as it was only at the end of last year when I read Secret Weapons, the first book of theirs I've ever read. But since then, I really just dove into the universe, and in my opinion, Valiant is the perfect alternative to Big 2. Valiant is just such a fresh new universe with a vast and eclectic roster of characters that just really gives you a sense that anything is still possible in this universe without having to go through endless retcons and reboots to enjoy it. So, here are 5 of the books from Valiant that I have read so far and totally loved. And with that, Vandals, let's just get right into it. First up, we have Generation Zero, written by Fred Van Lint with fun and flowing art by Francis Portela. And the easiest and most fun way I can describe Generation Zero is just imagine if John Hughes was inspired by the early Grant Morrison comics like Doom Patrol or The Invisibles, and he made a movie in the vein of Breakfast Club mixed with the X-Men about it. And the story for Generation Zero is about a team of young superpowered heroes who come to the city of Rook, Michigan to help a young teen girl solve the murder of her boyfriend, and things get insane. And this series is just fast and really wild, and I just love the odd villains in the book, like the Cornermen, with their odd plot to take over our world using evil chocolate milk. But our team of heroes is also pretty different and really off the rails as well, and I just have too much fun with comics like this. Next up, we have The Death-Defying Dr. Mirage, wonderfully written by Miss Jen Van Meter with stunning art by Roberto de la Torre. So yeah, Valiant has quite a few rad horror-themed heroes, and I find Dr. Mirage is one of the best horror heroes in any universe. She's kind of like John Constantine mixed with Daredevil, and that's really cool. And in her adventures, Dr. Mirage finds herself having to trek through the dead side, which is kind of like Valiant's own version of a mythical style afterlife. But Mirage doesn't seem to mind much, because she's always on the lookout for her deceased husband, who passed away many years ago, but she can't seem to find. But she always ends up in way over her head, and she has just some killer fights and some really neat interactions with the strange locals of the dead side. And that just totally helps make this comic be a really, really rad blend of horror and fantasy with a great action-packed edge. Right on. Now, let's take a peek at Divinity/Eternity, written by the always amazing Matt Kindt with beautiful, surreal art by Trevor Hairsine. And Divinity, it is truly amazing in every sense of the word, as Divinity is a one-of-a-kind, surreal, sci-fi hero epic like none other, and it tells the story of 3 Russian cosmonauts who were part of a secret space mission that came into contact with a cosmic higher power that gave them godlike powers. And this gives us Valiant's strongest and most virtuous hero. This book was also the first time I read about the hero team Unity, only to see them as villains of their first encounter with the hero Divinity. And I always love when a book has the guts to do something like that. And to tell you the truth, I'm not usually a fan of super strong cosmic heroes. I'm more of a street level hero kind of fan. But Matt Kindt made magic with this series, and I'm hooked. Divinity is one of my favorite superheroes ever. Well, alright then. Now, let's hop on over to Britannia, written by the truly underrated comic god, Peter Milligan, with moody and brutal art by the always epic Juan Jose Reap. And Britannia is a beautiful blend of historical drama and supernatural thriller, as Britannia tells the story of Antonius Axia, a Roman soldier who, after losing his mind when he encountered a demon, becomes the world's first detective. And when Nero sends Antonius from Rome to Britannia to solve a very disturbing string of very brutal deaths, everything gets crazy and horrific, as Antonius, a man who thinks of himself as a rational person, gets his eyes open to a wide and terrifying world of magic and monsters. And I just love it. The fun use of history and the blending of both Roman and Celtic mythology is done perfectly, and Milligan is writing the hell out of this book. And last but surely not least, we have Ray, written by my main man Matt Kindt with crisp and fluid art by Clayton Crane. And let me just start off with this. Ray is my favorite superhero comic I've read in the last 10 years. And Ray is a sci-fi, cyberpunk superhero masterpiece that beautifully skates the razor's edge between being a classic hero epic and a cutting-edge sci-fi tale that reminds me of both a Satomu Nihei style cyberpunk manga and a European cyberpunk epic by like Jodorowsky at the same time, and that is an amazing feat in my opinion to both nail both Japanese and European style cyberpunk. And the story for this one is the story of the hero Ray, the protector of Neo Tokyo, a huge futuristic metropolis that rotates above the earth like a big beautiful satellite. And during his adventures, Ray tragically learns the dark secrets of Neo Tokyo's creator, who is actually only known as Father. And as Ray comes to the heartbreaking conclusion that Father is actually a draconian-style ruler. And also, Ray tragically learns the truth that he himself is actually a symbol of repression and not the glowing symbol of hope that he always believed that he was. Now, Ray must try and do whatever he can to try and save Neo Tokyo. And this is totally when the book just really takes off. And Ray also has a really fun cast of side characters who help him fight the power. And oh my gosh, Vandals, the fights and the struggle in this book is just magnificent. There is just so much personality and substance to this comic, and in my opinion, this is a superhero book that everyone should read. There is really nothing else like it in American comics, hands down. Well, there you have it, Vandals. Long live Valiant. And I really hope they do stick around for a long time. I have around 40 books from them, and I haven't disliked a single one of them. But please let me know what your favorite Valiant book is in the comments, and let me know what books coming out from them that you are excited for. But for now, until next time, this is Johnny Alpha from Graphic Vandalism saying don't stop reading.